Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, haters, supporters alike, to the first Ask Neo of 2012. That's right, Q&A time. And you guys who are not aware on what Ask Neo is, well, point blank, it's a Q&A series where you send in the questions and I answer them to the best of my ability. I can't milk that for any more than I already have, but yeah, that's what it is. And if you guys have been following me on my Facebook, you know, I said send in all your questions because this one's going to be pretty memorable because I think this is going to be the longest video I've ever put up on my channel. I thought putting up, you know, the 20-minute video I did, 25-minute video ago was long, but I think that we're going to break it right now. Probably an hour, maybe an hour and a half, possibly two. So to help me on that journey, I've got my good old mug of ginger ale. Let's see how long this is going to last me. And for you guys, sit back, relax, pop up some popcorn, get all your chips, get all your essentials, movie-going snacks and soda. Maybe some beer. Maybe you can get high. I don't know. But yeah, we're going to be here for a while. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. The first question comes in from Koshocker. Yeah, Koshocker. You know, judging by this person's YouTube profile picture, he looks awfully familiar. This is one guy I know on Facebook by the name of Nick, who just got a freaking horse, which I am extremely jealous of. If it is you, Nick, then hello. And if it's not Nick, moving on. He asks this: Neo, what type of games do you want to see more of in 2012, and why? At first when I looked over it, I thought he was talking about what games am I most anticipating, but no. Genre-wise, you know, what games do I want to see more of? Anybody that knows me, the particular type of games that I like to play mostly are RPGs. And, you know, from that, it branches off into Japanese RPGs specifically, because I think that Japanese RPGs, this generation in particular, have really not gotten any attention. I mean, outside of the smaller companies who are putting out great RPGs, there really hasn't been any big ones. I mean, Final Fantasy 13 was probably the biggest JRPG this generation, and you know how well that turned out. And maybe this has to do with Japanese gaming development not being forefront like they used to. Maybe it's all about the Western people, because Japanese, they've fallen behind on like almost every single part of game development. I mean, even Hideo Kojima admitted that. But I want to see more quality JRPGs, you know, and I want to see Square Enix get off their lazy asses and bring out a new IP, bring out something interesting, stop remaking, porting, spin-off, rehashing all the time, give us a quality RPG. I want to see more RPGs. I just want to see more innovative and more unique games. I'm not talking about they have to come out with this game that no one's ever played of, but you know, every game nowadays is just, they're foregoing originality and they're going more of the same. They want to fit into this crowd. But the reason why they sold so much beforehand was because they were original, and now they're copping out. And honestly, when they try to get the sales, they're not there. They look at the reviews, it went down because they're appealing to an audience who they shouldn't have, you know? Let Call of Duty do its own thing. Guerrilla, do your own thing. Alright? It makes no sense to cop out and be like Call of Duty. Same thing to Insomniac. Well, look what they do with Resistance 3's multiplayer. So, more Japanese RPGs, more creative and unique titles, less cop-outs. Alright, the next question comes from Trapped Demon. Do you believe that the anime and the gaming industries both have the same problems, as in which people are trying to pirate the content, or having soccer moms / the media complaining that it's too violent, not for kids, etc., etc.? Definitely, man, definitely. Actually, any media in general has that problem. Piracy in particular. I honestly don't condone piracy one bit. You know, there was a time where I would condone it under specific reasons, but it's gotten to a point that you look at these people who are so goddamn self-entitled that it makes me sick to do that. I mean, it's ridiculous. You hear about all these companies that are closing left and right, you know, because of majority-wise piracy, and it sucks, you know, so that's why I really can't condone it anymore. And as far as soccer moms are concerned, soccer moms, it's like they honestly don't understand what they're getting into. They don't know anything about the subject matter. Like with video games, they think that video games lead to violence. And honestly, they don't. As long as you can differentiate between what is real and what is a game, then you're perfectly fine in my opinion. Same thing with music, same thing with books. If the book is about this guy killing people, right, that's not telling you, oh, go out and kill people. No, you should be able to differentiate. you should be able to not mimic the person or mimic the video game like a rapper's talking about, oh, I'm gonna kill this guy, fuck you, and all that stuff. You shouldn't go out and do that. I'm not gonna go sue Eminem. I'm not gonna go sue Irrational Games. I'm not going to go sue Warner Brothers. It's ridiculous. You know, people have to differentiate and take responsibility for their actions. Like when Grand Theft Auto 4 came out, these kids who freaking jacked old lady, they said, oh, we were inspired by Grand Theft Auto. It's just ridiculous. Take responsibility of your own actions. Stop trying to blame others. And it's not freaking Rockstar's fault for that. If I made a movie about me killing people, what? They're going to go out and say, oh, I blame the movie for this. No, you should have been able to differentiate between what is real and what isn't. What you should do and what you shouldn't. People make suggestions to me all the time. That doesn't mean I'm going to go out and do every single thing. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous, man. People just got to take responsibility for their own damn actions. We wouldn't be in all these problems we are, but you know what? People don't. They want to play the blame game. So to all you people who do that, fuck you. Alright, next question comes from the J Brown 60. What are your 2 favorite Kingdom Hearts moments and why? 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 You see, okay. I wasn't prepared for a question like this. This is what I was talking about, those damn in-depth questions that are going to have me sitting here for 5 minutes straight. Okay, I got it. I got 2 scenes. Alright, from 358. Honestly, anything involving Shion. 358 was the saddest Kingdom Hearts game I've ever played. You people who play the ending, know what I'm talking about. And other than that, I think probably in the end of Kingdom Hearts 1, where you have them trying to close the door, and then you see Riku, and then you see the King Mickey, and then the music starts playing, and then Riku says, take care of her, and Sora's like, yeah. And they close the gate. That was just such a good scene, you know. They could have ended the game, like, right there, honestly. Man. Good times, good times. So, anything involving Shion in 358 and the pre-ending of Kingdom Hearts, before When You Walk Away. Okay, the next question comes from the Deus Ex Effect. Oh, Deus Ex, okay, play on words. Anyone who plays Deus Ex knows. Hey Neo, what are your most anticipated games for 2012? I actually have a few games that in mind that I can list off here, but the rest I'm going to do for a separate video. So right off the bat, Mass Effect 3, obviously. Kid Icarus Uprising, Kingdom Hearts 3D, Dream Drop Distance, of course. What else? Max Payne 3. What else am I going to get? Storm Generations. Bioshock Infinite, no doubt, day one purchase, Irrational fucking Games. And, you know, those are just a couple of games that I'm looking forward to this year. I have a whole list more that has more titles that I want and the ones I've forgotten to, so you can look out for that in the next coming days. Okay, let's see. Alright. The next question comes from the King of Hearts 17. Do you believe that Kingdom Hearts could replace Final Fantasy as Square Enix's main RPG series? Honestly, in several parts, yes, but not overall. As far as popularity is concerned, definitely, because Kingdom Hearts, you know, the fan base has grown exponentially since its inception 10 years ago. There are a lot more fans to the series because it's so quirky, Square and Disney, and the story always keeps you coming back for more. But I don't think it's ever going to reach the Final Fantasy caliber, you know, because Final Fantasy is a name that everybody knows for the past, like, 20 years in gaming, and it's just become so synonymous with Square Enix. And that's really what has caused the downfall of Final Fantasy. Square Enix knows that it's so big that they just put out any shit and they think people will buy it, and you know what? Most of the time they do. The Final Fantasy games, the quality of them really went down since number 9, and, you know, number 10 was okay. 11 was an MMO, I'm not counting that. 12, the battle system was cool, but the story, 13, you all know how I feel on that. 14, complete insult of a game, not just an MMO, but a game in general. And then now you have 13.2, and I played the demo for that. And 13.2, they fixed the majority of problems that were wrong in 13. I'll give them that, but it's still limiting, extremely limiting as far as an RPG. Maybe it's because I just played an hour and a half demo, and that's why, but I don't know. I'll wait for the full game to give my full verdict on that, but I'm not getting 13.2 day one. I don't want to give Square Enix that much money anymore outside of Kingdom Hearts, you know. But as far as popularity, I'd say, yeah, fan base wise, yeah. actual series, no, because Final Fantasy will always be around. They always want to keep it relevant, even if they have to, you know, keep doing what I like to say. Spin-off, porting, and remaking. So, yep. Next question comes from Neo Kid Sly. Are you planning on getting the PlayStation Vita with its high price tag? At this moment, currently, no, I'm not going to be getting the Vita on day one. I originally was going to, but the way I see the Vita is like this. The Vita, when it was first announced, there was so much potential for the system. I mean, they announced a great price tag, $250 for a beastly machine. The launch lineup was looking great. And then Sony, you see, the thing that's holding back the Vita from success is Sony. I mean, Sony with the whole AT&T partnership thing. And then you have the whole memory card scandal. I don't care what people say, saying, oh, get over the memory cards, they're not that expensive. You're going to buy accessories anyway, so buy a memory card. Listen, it's 2011. Has Sony learned nothing from the PSP using proprietary memory? Have they learned nothing? Listen, everybody's going the route for storage micro SD cards or SD cards. Mostly micro SD cards because they can fit into phones. I mean, look at the 3DS. They didn't go proprietary. Nintendo used SD cards. And Sony using this proprietary memory source, what, to combat piracy? I guarantee you there are going to be adapters on the market the next freaking day. That's not combating piracy. You don't combat piracy by putting all these damn restrictions. Alright? If they used regular micro SD cards, you know what the kicker is? A 4GB stick of Sony's proprietary memory is $20. You can get 16 gigabytes for $10 on Amazon. 16 gigabytes. I bought 2 of them for my phone. 32 gigabytes. Come on, Sony. It's ridiculous. The only reason they're doing this is because they can and they want to. So when you buy a Vita, you're going to have to buy a game. You're going to have to buy more than 4 gigabytes because the games alone are going to be pretty damn big. This isn't like the PSP. Uncharted Golden Abyss alone takes up 4 gigs. So you're spending almost $400 on the Vita. And I'm like, Sony, what the hell? You say you want to make this not fail like the PSP did, and look what you're freaking doing. I mean, for Christ's sake, can we get like all these people out of the company and actually put gamers in there? Because, in my opinion, I can strike a better balance between pleasing my audience and still making bank. You know, what Sony's doing, so much potential is squandered. But I'm getting a Vita eventually, probably for my birthday in July, or if my brother gets a Vita for his birthday in February, which is around the time the Vita comes out, I might mooch off of him until I can get my own. But I'm still waiting on the library to grow. You know, I want to see more games come out for it, even though it already has like Uncharted and, you know, Unit 13. I'm gonna wait a bit. I'm in no rush. You know, I'm gonna wait for it to grow. It's to those who wait who truly prosper. And in the Vita's case, I'm gonna wait. And I also have a bad taste in my mouth from the 3DS. Damn you, Nintendo. The next question comes from BlueFire469. What is your favorite anime/manga of 2011? Well, kind of a problem there. Okay, let me just say this. When it comes to watching things that are, you know, syndicated on cable, premiering on cable, you know, animes that are simulcast, I rarely watch them when they premiere. You know, I used to back in the day religiously watch anime when it premiered on Adult Swim, but as I got older, honestly, I kept missing the airings because I was always out, you know, chilling with friends, taking a girl out, you know, just experiencing life without having to confine to that schedule. So whenever an anime did come out, I would always wait for it to go box sets or Netflix, instant stream. I'd always catch up on it at some point or another, but not when it came out. And the same can be said about anime. I didn't really watch any anime that premiered this year in the fall or the spring. You know, I missed out on all those titles. I'm going to wait for them to get on Netflix or eventually come over to the States and have a box set. But the one anime series I did complete in 2011 that honestly I thought that was the best was Blue Exorcist, Aoi no Exorcist, and I recently started collecting the manga for it, and I loved that all the way. And the thing with manga, I haven't really read any other manga series outside of, you know, the occasional Naruto chapter, which I've given up all hope on Naruto. So I'd say Bakuman. I know it's not a 2011 manga, but that was the manga that I read this year that I enjoyed the most. So I found a loophole, I guess. The next question comes from Harute1061, and he asks, oh, what the fuck, I just lost internet connection. What the? Technical difficulty here, folks. Okay, the next question comes from Harute1061. You thought your question wasn't going to get answered, right? Dear Neil, why is Call of Duty so popular? Because of all the little kids that go out and keep buying it year after year after year after year, not knowing that it's exactly the same damn game except with buildings placed over here and over here. Honestly, Call of Duty has become an icon not only in the gaming industry but in just media in general. You have newspapers doing reports on how much they expect this game to sell, Activision stocks rising. And not only gamers are playing it, you've got people, professional athletes, celebrities, you know, actors talking about Call of Duty and all that stuff. You don't believe me? Go check it out. So it's just evolved more from just a gaming icon to a mass media icon that honestly they think that if they don't release it every single year, people are going to lose interest in it, which is completely ridiculous. I don't follow that statement that if you don't release it every single year, it's going to become irrelevant. That's not true. They're sacrificing quality for sales, you know, and if that's the way the industry is turning, then I can't stand it, you know, because the Call of Duty games have gotten considerably worse after World at War. I mean, Black Ops was kind of good, but servers were like shit for the first couple of months. So I am not going to buy the next Call of Duty game at all. I don't even think I am. I mean, I don't even think I'll even play it because my brother bought Modern Warfare 3 and I played it, but collectively I played like 3 hours of it. You know, the next Call of Duty game is coming out, oh, it's going to do the same thing. People are going to say it's so different when it's really not. I don't care if people play competitively. Stop using that as an excuse, for Christ's sake. You're sacrificing game quality. It's the same damn game. Oh, different sound effects for guns. Fuck Call of Duty. No, actually, you know what? Fuck Call of Duty after World at War. Everything else I loved. Well, except for 3. The next question comes from Hachibi Minato. How come you haven't gotten back to reading the Big Jump manga, you know, like the big 3? Well, One Piece wise, like I said, I'm waiting for the English dub episodes to catch up. Bleach, my whole entire experiences with Bleach will be the first 63 episodes. I tried to watch after 63, but I have to keep skipping filler arc after filler arc that it just got monotonous. You know, it just wasn't worth my time. So everything that I talk about from Bleach, all my experiences, will be from the first 63 episodes. And Naruto, you guys already know, Naruto's plot really lost it. After the Pain arc, I honestly lost all interest in Naruto. Just Kishimoto's writing went to shit after that. I mean, the original Naruto series was so great. And, you know, what it lacked in some things, I thought that with Shippuden they would make up for it, you know. But that seriously wasn't the case. It just turned into Sasuke worship. You know, all this bullshit. Kishimoto pulling crap out of his ass. I'm like, what the fuck? And even some attacks and arcs and, you know, things from Naruto that people think are so new were actually done in his brother's series, Opart's Hunter 666 Satan. I mean, all of these attacks, like, it's just not even inspired by literally cut and paste from that series into this. You know, people may say, oh, the Rasen Shuriken is a ripoff of Destructo Disc. But no, when you look at Oparts and then you look at Naruto, it's like, damn, literally, for wholesale he took that shit. Yeah, I don't really care much for the manga anymore. It's just, I mean, when you got better things to read like Bakuman and Blue Exorcist, it's like, whatever, man. But, you know, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. You can read it and like it if you want. Next question comes from Nick Knack. Have you seen the new episodes of Beavis and Butthead? No, I haven't. Because, like I said, the whole thing with TV, I'm rarely watching TV, and when most TV is crap. But I've heard a lot of good things. My friend Adrian said that the revival was really good. So if it comes out on Netflix, I'll definitely give it a shot. And your second question is, do you watch Glee? I honestly am so goddamn sick of all these teeny bopper high school shows where the kids are singing about their songs. I mean, it's gotten to a point where it's just fucking annoying. There's no story, it's just them singing about their problems. Well, what's next? Oh, I'm fat. You don't gotta be fat to do all these things. Da 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 da. Sing about the problems. Sing about the problems. Yeah. I mean, you look at movies like Grease and West Side Story, and when they did music and dancing, they did it fucking classy, A-list. You look over at all this shit like High School Musical, Camp Rock, Glee, whatever the crap Disney comes out with next, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's just shit. Like, do you seriously have to mooch off of the trends? I mean, you look at a movie like High School Musical at the end, they're all happy, and yeah, let's sing about how happy we are. We're all in this together. I'm just looking at myself, were these people high to have written this? Or were these people even higher to have enjoyed this? I don't know. But one positive thing I'll say about Glee is outside of them butchering all the songs that I love, I like the actors involved in Glee, believe it or not. Matthew Morrison is a really cool guy if you get to know him. And the other chick, the one who, you know, the one from Role Models who was in it, you know, the BSer, don't BS the BSer, that chick, she's hilarious as hell. So I like everybody involved in Glee, but not the show. So if that makes sense, yeah. Alright, the next question comes from Phenom X for Life. And let's see, he has a bunch of questions here. Let's see which one. What do you like better, One Piece or Dragon Ball Z? I think the better question is One Piece or Dragon Ball Z manga or Dragon Ball Z Kai, not the Dragon Ball Z anime. That's a really tough question. You know, I haven't really watched enough of One Piece to say if it's better than Dragon Ball or not, so I really can't answer that question. So let's do another one. What's your favorite superhero? Obviously the goddamn Batman. The Batman kicks the crap out of every single person. Green Lantern, psh, I mean, what, Iron Man? Without his suit, Tony Stark is useless. And Aquaman, why is there even Aquaman? Aquaman sucks. There's no crime underwater. What the hell? So, Batman. What sports are you into? NBA, NFL, etc. When it comes to playing sports, tennis, street hockey, and occasional basketball here and there. You know, well, me being 6'4", everyone says, oh, you gotta play basketball. But nah, I'm more into tennis and baseball. But as far as televised sporting events, I only watch the big games. You know, I don't keep track of the individual games. You know, if there's the playoff championships or the Super Bowl, I watch those. Honestly, I can just watch, like, read about the updates on Facebook because everyone's like, oh, fuck it, Derrick Rose, what the hell, man? You know, so I just got out of touch of watching televised sporting events, and that's why I really don't play a lot of sports games, because I'm like, if you play them outside and you actually gain experience and exercise, I'm like, come on, man. It's ridiculous. Like, people buy Madden every single year. I'm like, yeah, go outside and play football. Alright. Next question comes from the King4427. How long do you plan on doing YouTube? Ah, shit. You see, that's a question that, honestly, I don't think anybody is prepared to answer. You know, they say, when did you start YouTube? X date. You know, how long, like, what have you gained from YouTube? I've gained this. And it's like, how long do you plan on doing this? And it's like, they don't know, because it's just a question that, honestly, you don't think you'd have to answer. Because, in my case, I don't know what's going to happen 5 months from now. I don't know what's going to happen a year, maybe 10 years. I like to live in the moment while still planning out the future, but I don't plan as far as people say, like, oh, in 5 years I'm gonna quit this job and do that, you know. I'm not that type of person. I just like to live in the moment while still planning ahead, but not to the extent some people do. So I can't really say if I'm gonna stop doing YouTube, but I can say this: no matter how long I take a hiatus, no matter what website I switch to, I will always be on the internet in some way, shape, or form, be it on a forum or doing a video, because I always love to get my opinion out there. That's one of the main reasons I started YouTube, along with uploading Naruto videos, is to get my opinion known, and see what people think what I have to say, and see what other people think what I have to say. So that's just me, so I can't really answer your question, bro, because who knows what the future will hold, man. Alright, next question comes from Cortez Gabino 8. I'm sorry if I butchered the pronunciation of that. Like I said, no one is exempt from butchered names here. Have you ever watched an anime called Needless? Can't say I've ever even heard of it, man. But then again, there are anime and manga being shipped out the woodwork every 5 seconds in Japan, so it's obvious you can't watch them all. If you had a Death Note, what would you do with it? Pretty interesting question. You know, when people look at the videos I do, honestly, they say, oh man, if you had a Death Note, would you kill PETA? Would you kill soccer moms? Would you kill Cartoon Network executives? Honestly, nah, not really, you know. I wouldn't just flat out kill them. I'd plan out the next few months of their entire lives with the Death Note. Like, I'll like, as far as like let's just say Kim Kardashian. I hate the hell out of Kim Kardashian. I don't understand why people follow her. like, oh, she's so smart and all this stuff. She's a fucking idiot, and she's a whore. Not a whore in the sexual way, but just a whore, a media attention whore. Everything like, oh, Kim Kardashian walks down the street, exclusive. I mean, it's just fucking pathetic. And the whole thing, she got married to Chris Humphries and they divorced in less than 3 months. Yeah, gay marriage is totally more worse than Kim Kardashian and Chris Humphries getting a divorce. 1, not getting married out of love and trust. 2, number 3, there was all this bullshit afterwards about money and all that stuff. 3, and the 4th thing is, listen, she got married because she thought she was getting too old. Bitch is only like 30, 31. You tell me that's too old? Most people get out of college by the time they're in their late 20s. You know, if they're going for their doctors and stuff. They get their lives started when they're in their 30s. Mid, early, whatever. You know, the 30s, man. And then you have kids and stuff. Don't say like, oh, I'm too old. No, I'm not. No one's going to care about me if I don't get married. That is such a first world problem. I'm going to get married when I feel like I'm ready and when I find the right lady. I don't use that as an excuse to just get married out of that, because you know what that happened? She ended up getting a lousy guy, and hey, that's what happened. Anyway, if I had a death note, I would use it on the managers of Kim Kardashian's career, Justin Bieber's career, Rebecca Black's career for the next 6 months. But I'd have the managers die in such a painless way. You know, I wouldn't want to inflict any major harm on them like Light does. You know, it'd be something painless. That's just me. You know, as evil as that, I'm pretty lukewarm when it comes to killing people like that. Alright, the next couple questions comes from Stubbs Wolf. Oh, cool. If I'm mistaken, he has a Helsing avatar? Maybe, I'm not so sure. Have you ever seen or read Akira? And if so, what are your thoughts on the live-action film? Well, I have seen Akira. I'm pretty sure any person who has watched anime at one point in their life, seen or heard of Akira. It's one of the most hailed films to come out of Japan, along with anything Studio Ghibli has done. It's a great film. I recommend anybody watch it. The problem with Akira is that, I mean, it's just so goddamn overrated. I mean, I love the movie, but I'm not going to say it's the holy messiah. It's the best thing come out of Japan, because there are plenty of films that exceed Akira in quality, not just animation, but in live action. And, you know, you mentioned any animated film that came out of Japan, especially from Studio Ghibli, and the Akira fanboys will just eat you apart. It's like, they get so pissed off that my favorite film, my animated film from Japan, is Grave of the Fireflies. It's like, if it's not Akira, it's, you don't know anything, man. Akira is awesome. I mean, Akira is good, but it's not that fucking good, man. And if you guys didn't know, over the past couple of years, there have been talks about getting a live-action Hollywood version of Akira done. And actually, from what I've read, they've gotten more footing. You know, they've gotten out the door more. They've actually hired screenwriters, possible directors, actors for the roles. And it was looking like it was actually going to be made until recently they put it on the back burner. So we're not going to be seeing this so-called film for another year to maybe 3 years. It all depends how fast they get this done. I guess that's a good thing, because it, you know, saves one more Japanese thing from the horrors of Hollywood, like Street Fighter and, need I say, Dragon Ball Evolution. So I guess that's good. And another question that he asks is, what are your thoughts on the upcoming movie adaptation of Uncharted? Yeah, another case with Akira, there's actually a lot more talks about getting it out the door into theaters, you know, with Sony Pictures behind it. They actually did confirm a director for a while, and it was, what the hell was his name? David O. Russell? Yeah, David O. Russell, and he was talking about putting Mark Wahlberg as Nathan Drake and bringing in Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci to have like this Fortune 100 family, and it was looking really weird. You know, I didn't understand it one bit. You know, I love taking creative liberties, like wanting to tell new stories, but to the extent they're going, it's kind of weird. I don't know, we're not going to know how that'll ever turn out, because David O. Russell and Mark Wahlberg have left the project, so now it's up in the air, and apparently they have attached the director from Limitless, Neil something, and Bradley Cooper, or Brandy Cooper, what the hell's his name? Brandy Cooper? Or Bradley Cooper? I don't know. I always get him confused with Brandon Lee, the guy from Crow, because their names are so similar, and Brandy Cooper was in talks to play the Crow. Anyway, they were in talks to have him play Nathan Drake, which I am very open to, because he's a phenomenal actor. He can pull off the smarmy, everyman, oh, you know, Nathan Drake character. He can pull that off to a T. and some people don't approve of him because they think it's Nathan Fillion or bust. Listen, Nathan Fillion's a great actor, but think realistically, alright? If he's not going to be Nathan Drake, there have to be other alternatives. There are other people who can play Nathan Drake pretty damn good. It's not just Nathan Fillion.